From the nice things like having his giraffe to the darker things like almost getting locked up, here are 10 things you still didn't know about Ja Morant. Starting off with the fact that his dad taught him to play basketball. Ja Morant's basketball skills and hardworking attributes on the court were all inspired and instilled by his dad, T. Morant. And by inspired, we're talking about him having a young Ja trained to play basketball from when he was as young as 6 years old. That's almost as soon as he could comfortably hold the ball. Ja's dad wasn't just training him to shoot hoops and bounce the ball though. Nah, his old man had him practicing epic step-back jump shots as a kid. That's not the craziest part though. Ja's basketball training with his dad also involved making use of tractor tires to practice jumping with a soft landing and learning to analyze different offenses and defenses. It's no surprise Ja ended up being the hell of a player he is today then. But you're probably wondering, how the hell does a regular dad know so much about basketball to train his son that hard?
Just can't make a left-hand layup. And you make an excuse about it.
Easy. That's because Ja Morant's dad was also a baller back in the day. Oh yeah, Ja's father, T. Morant, actually played a lot of basketball in his younger days. By the time he was in high school at Hillcrest High School of Dalzell, South Carolina, T was teammates with the legendary basketball Hall of Famer Ray Allen. T went on to play basketball at Claflin University of Orangeburg in South Carolina. After college, he hoped to make it to the NBA and spend time playing on the international circuit, but decided to stop playing ball when Ja was born. Considering their mom Jamie played as a point guard for her high school team and was a college softball player, Ja might just have all the right basketball genes flowing in his veins. However, Ja's younger sister, Tania, got some of those genes as she now plays basketball for Hillcrest Middle School in Dalzell. Not gonna lie though, all the basketball genes Morant was born with weren't enough to save him from this next shocking fact. Ja Morant was a late bloomer. No shade to late bloomers, but if you had to guess which NBA player could have been a late bloomer, Ja Morant would surely not come to mind. Don't let his 6'3" height or his thick voice or cool mustache and goatee fool you though. Ja used to be way smaller than his basketball mates. In fact, by the time he would start playing varsity basketball, Morant's full standing height was just 5'9". To make things worse, he hardly had any jump power, and as a result, he couldn't make a dunk until the summer before his senior year in high school. According to the man himself, before then, I'd probably get one dunk out of 25 tries. That's really weak, man. He eventually got a hang of it though, just before his final high school year. And since then, Ja has been throwing it down non-stop. Moving on, you probably know about Morant's balling out for Murray State during his college days. But what you didn't know is that he got recruited to Murray State by accident. And we mean that quite literally. Here's the crazy story of how that happened. Back in 2016, Murray State Racers assistant coach James Kane attended a basketball camp for high school students to watch a player the team planned on recruiting. While doing his low-key scouting job, Kane got hungry and headed outside to grab a snack. It was then that he noticed some action in a side gym and saw a 16-year-old Ja tearing it up in a 3-on-3 game. Kane immediately saw the potential in the kid and hit up Murray State coach Matt McMahon to tell him he had found a gem. A little while after, Murray State offered Morant a scholarship, and the rest, they say, is history. All because of a snack break. Talk about fate. Just before you go, there'd have been another team to recruit Ja if Coach Kane never went on that snack break. The reality about that is another thing you still don't know about Ja Morant. No college wanted Ja Morant. You heard that here, and you can quote us anywhere. Ja probably won't want you to know this because, let's keep it real, not having colleges want to recruit you out of high school is kind of embarrassing. But that was a 16-year-old Ja Morant's reality. In fact, all major recruiting services didn't even bother to rank him. That's right, we're talking about the most renowned and supposedly detailed recruiting services like ESPN, 24/7 Sports, and Rivals. None of them felt Ja was good enough to deserve to be ranked. Imagine not even being deemed good enough for a 2-star rating. That must have hurt. Reports even had it that Ja had only 2 scholarship offers apart from Murray State, and the offers were from colleges not as good as Murray State. End of the day, it was all their losses because Ja went on to ball the hell out of the Racers. And by his sophomore year, he not only led the nation in assists, but also bagged the prestigious Bob Cousy Award as the nation's top point guard. Now that's how you make your doubters eat their words. Up next is a 2-in-1 exciting fact about Ja Morant. Ja has his own giraffe and his own holiday. NBA players like to spend on crazy things, and Ja isn't an exception. You'll find out soon, but first, how about these 2 things he has that even money can't buy? Starting off with the giraffe. Back in November 2020, the city of Memphis, where Morant's Grizzlies basketball team is based, did Morant a crazy honor when the city zoo got a new baby giraffe. They named the giraffe after Morant, calling it Ja-Raff. Get it? Giraffe! Unlike the giraffe's human patriarch though, Ja-Raffer definitely wasn't a late bloomer and was already Morant's full height of 6'3" by the time he was just 2 weeks old.
Come here, son.
And a bit before that, his birth city of South Carolina did him an even bigger honor when he was named the NBA Rookie of the Year. In honor of Ja Morant, the state declared August 10th, Ja's birthday, a holiday that's known as Ja Morant Day. Fair to say Ja Morant's cities have always got his back, but that still isn't enough to keep Ja out of trouble, so much that he was nearly jailed on multiple occasions. You heard that right. Back in September 2022, a lawsuit was filed against Morant in Shelby County, Tennessee. According to the plaintiff of the suit, Ja had beaten up a 17-year-old dude during a pickup basketball game at Morant's home a couple of months earlier. The case was eventually dropped because of insufficient evidence, but just a couple of months later, another report surfaced of Ja threatening a mall attendant. This time, a mall employee got into a verbal squabble with Ja's mom, who then called her son for backup. By the time Ja would come in, it was with 9 other dudes who wanted all the smoke and didn't leave until the authorities came around. A little while after, the police department of Glendale, Colorado, launched an investigation into Morant for allegedly flashing a gun in a strip club on an Instagram livestream. Ja Morant really is an NBA bad boy. Luckily again, the charges were dropped and Ja got to walk free. Remember how we mentioned that Ja Morant isn't an exception to NBA players splurging on crazily expensive things? Well, Ja Morant is a jewelry freak. There's no question about it. If one person had to be given the crown for the most iced out NBA player, Ja Morant definitely deserves it. This dude has got a sort of addiction to jewelry and loves to go wild for every bit of ice. From watches to grills and necklaces. One time in April 2022, he linked up with famous rapper Gunna Atlanta's Icebox jewelry store and went on a shopping spree that cost him $55,000. Ja got himself a 14mm Miami Cuban bracelet, 3 other diamond bracelets, and 2 diamond rings. And this is literally the tip of the iceberg. Back in 2019, as soon as he got drafted and signed a rookie deal with Grizzlies worth over $39 million, Ja went crazy and spent over $400,000 on just jewelry. He got himself a diamond grill for $35,000, some chains for $89,000, $240,000 for iced out watches, and an $11,000 necklace for his sister. His outrageous jewelry collection, which is worth over $1 million, also includes a black and white diamond Miami Cuban chain with a 12-inch pendant and a matching Audemars Piguet that cost him over $100,000. Just before we get to the last shocking thing about Ja Morant, we have to mention this. Ja Morant is a mama's boy. Yeah, he tries to act all gangster and likes to stay iced out, but deep down, Ja is a mama's boy through and through. For proof, remember he ran up on those mall employees just for beefing with his mom? Additionally, how about the fact that he has his mom's words tattooed on his arm? Oh yeah, dude legit got some wise words from his mom tattooed on his arm. Beneath no one. We're not done just yet though. Even with all the money and fame that Ja Morant has, his favorite dish till now is a yummy plate of spaghetti, lasagna, and chicken alfredo, but only when prepared by his mom. In all fairness, maybe you can just say that he's a parent's boy because the last thing you didn't know about Ja Morant is that he lives with his parents. Ja actually does live with his folks, but with a tiny plot twist. After getting into the NBA, Ja Morant went all out to get a mansion fit for a baller. His home is a 13,836 square foot mansion just outside of Memphis that cost him $3 million. This mansion has 7 bedrooms, 7 full bathrooms, multiple fireplaces, vaulted ceilings, a great room, an eat-in kitchen with breakfast bar, a keeping room, a library, a den, a customized gaming room and media room, a swimming pool, and a standard-sized basketball court, all in a gated neighborhood with a scenic view of a lake. But here's the twist. When Ja bought this house, he bought the mansion next door for his parents for a whooping $1.3 million. So he might be an NBA player and all that, but Ja Morant still lives with his parents as next-door neighbors. Which of these surprises you most to find out about Ja Morant? Let us know in the comments section.